eventually, the plug was pulled and we played on. Tonight, the weather is beautiful, and the Tribe tries to avoid a 12th straight loss in the first of 3 against the Orioles next on Sports Time Ohio. And from Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, we welcome you in as the Indians host the Baltimore Orioles in a weekend series on a beautiful September evening. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians limp into this one, having lost 11 games in a row. And the Orioles, well, they come in on a 7-game losing streak, so something's got to give here tonight.
Well, yeah, you're right. Somebody's going to have to win. And the Indians, if they lose again tonight, they will match their career high in losses at 12 games. Going back to 1931, believe it or not, May 7th through the 21st. Last night, you got to go back to 1928. That's the last time they lost 11 games. You don't want to see that. They've lost 10 games 5 times, once last year, and I played on a team that did it back in 1979.
Rick, I think if the Indians are going to avoid losing their 12th straight game, they're going to have to get a better pitching performance from Fausto Carmona than what he's given them here lately.
Well, Fausto, I mean, you're absolutely right. He's gone out there, and it seems like, you know, he tries to get set early in the game, the first 2 innings. If they get him early, he struggles the rest of the way. He'll settle in, and then all of a sudden he loses it again. I mean, this is a guy that has some issues, that has some problems. He hasn't been able to straighten himself out. You can see in September he struggled with a 10 ERA. David Hernandez pitching against the Indians, went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and a no decision. That back at the end of August.
Seems like for Carmona, if he can get through the first inning, get through the first couple of innings, then he's going to have a good game. But we'll keep a close eye on Carmona as the Indians battle the Orioles coming up next. Baltimore Orioles. The Tribe comes into this game here tonight with the youngest active roster in Major League Baseball. And the Orioles are not far behind them. So a very youthful Indians team takes the field behind Fausto Carmona tonight in search of a win as the Tribe tries to snap an 11-game losing streak. Let's have a look at the starting lineup for Dave Tremblay's Baltimore Orioles. Brian Roberts, the second baseman, leads it off, followed by Felix Pie. Matt Wieters in the 3-hole. You see what he's done over the last 9 games. Then Nick Markakis in the cleanup spot, followed by Luke Scott, Melvin Mora. Ty Wigington will DH. Michael Aubrey at first, and Cesar Izturis bats 9th.
Fausto Carmona making his 23rd start this year. He's looking for a win. He's lost his last 4 decisions. So Fausto, the last time he picked up a W was back in July. That was not even then. It's been quite a while. It was August 23rd, to be exact. In his career against the Baltimore Orioles, he is 2-4. He pitched against them and lost August 28th, where he went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 9 hits and 6 runs, walked 3 and struck out 4, and he'll face his share of left-handers tonight. Let's check out the defense behind Carmona, brought to you by Honda. Brantley is in left, Crow in center, Chu is in right, Peralta at third, Cabrera at short, Valbuena at second, Marte at first, and Marson behind the plate.
James Hoy will call the balls and strikes tonight. Jeff Nelson is at first, crew chief Bob Davidson at second, and Todd Tickner is at third. Ryan Roberts steps in, all ready to get us underway tonight as Dave Tremblay looks on. His club has lost 7 in a row coming into tonight's action. These two teams have combined for 9 wins in the month of September. Fausto Carmona's first pitch in there for a strike. 65 degrees our game time temperature tonight. Roberts yanks one in the air to right. Chu makes the catch, 1 down. Starting to feel a little bit more and more like fall with each day, isn't it?
Yeah, supposedly tomorrow will be a little chilly and possible rain, but yeah, still not bad for the end of September.
Felix Pie steps in now for the O's as you see some of the fans bundled up. You do have a pretty good breeze blowing in from center field tonight. Pie takes a strike, batting .262 on the year, 9 homers, 29 runs batted in. Popped in the air, foul ground. Peralta gives chase, makes the over-the-shoulder catch, 2 down. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Friedman, Damiano and Smith. When you're injured, depend on us. Find Friedman, Damiano and Smith online at fdslaw.com. Tough break for Baltimore's Nolan Reimold, who is making a bid for Rookie of the Year honors. That Achilles injury. Here's Matt Wieters. Pretty solid-looking young catcher, switch hitter for Baltimore.
Well, they moved him into the third spot 5 games ago, and he's hitting .545, 12 for 22 in the number 3 hole. So
I think he's taken to it.
Stay hot.
He's hit safely in 6 straight. 9 of his last 10. And he's driven in a dozen during that streak. And you can see why we thought so highly of Wieters when we saw him in Baltimore. Swing and a miss. Carmona with a terrific first inning. Sets him down 1, 2, 3. And now Shin-Soo Choo leads the Tribe offensive attack when we come back. Wage and the Indians tonight brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley is Drupal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo. Peralta, Laporta, and Valbuena in the middle. Marte, remember against Baltimore, both he and Laporta had those hot hitting streaks at the time when we were in Birdland. And Lou Marson and Trevor Crow rounded out. David Hernandez fires the first pitch strike to Michael Brantley. Brantley, whose dad was a hitting coach in the Mets system, his philosophy on hitting was the less movement, the less room for error. And if you watch Michael's batting stance and his approach, there's not a whole lot of movement there. He's pretty quiet at the plate.
Well, that's why he waits on the ball. He lets it get deep in the zone. Not a big, long stride where your head's not going up and down where the ball doesn't move. And that's why he has a nice short stroke.
Big bouncer, room service hop from Michael Aubrey, who tags the bag, one down.
Let's check out the Orioles defense behind Hernandez this evening. It's Scott in left, PA in center, Markakis is in right. Mora at third, Asturis at short, Roberts at second, Aubrey is at first, and Wieters behind the plate. And you get a look at David Hernandez. Today, he is 2-4 on the road with a 5.40 ERA. He is 4-8 on the year. He had a no decision against the Indians back on August 27th. Went 6 innings, 5 hits, a couple of runs. He left with the game. They were leading 3-2. He ended up getting beat, but he had runners on in each inning, so they had their opportunity.
And oddly enough, when you look at David Hernandez and his splits, Cabrera lifts one towards center. PA comes in to make the catch. A great clip of the game from last night. Shin-Soo Choo taking Fernando Rodney deep. Made it a one-run game. Relax, you're at Great Clips. Hernandez this year with nobody on base, the opponent's batting .335 against him. When runners are on base, the average drops to .221. And when a runner's in scoring position, they're hitting only .171 against him.
How do you figure that out? It's tough to figure. I mean, it's nice when you can pitch. You get tougher with runners on base and even with runners in scoring position.
Ideally, you'd like to see him pitch that well when the bases are empty, but.
Well, I mean, what is it with his full windup?
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Fouled out of play. Choo with his 17 homers, one off the team lead. Grady Sizemore leads the Tribe with 18 dingers. And the 1-2 pitch outside to even the count.
Right down into the feet, right off the front toe. Ouch.
So Choo steps back in. And David Hernandez, the 2-2. Hit high in the air, center field, deep. PA turned his back and took off.
Wind's knocking it down.
Going to make the grab in front of the track, and the Indians go in order. No score after 1. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. Fausto Carmona settling in, inning number 2. Nick Markakis leading off for Baltimore. Looks at a pitch downstairs, 2-0. Markakis, a .293 hitter on the year with 16 home runs, 94 runs batted in.
Well, he's slowing down a little bit so far this month. This guy normally an excellent hitter. Hitting just .182 in his last 18 games, and he is a much better hitter than that. So it's a good thing you're catching him at this time.
Markakis and the Orioles, when it comes to playing against the Indians, they are truly an all-or-nothing club. Good pitch, full count. In their last 9 meetings head-to-head, in Baltimore's 5 wins, they've scored 49 runs. In the 4 losses, they've scored 9.
Well, they're an offensive club. They have to score to win. You know, with their pitching, they're the only staff in the league that's behind the Indians as far as ERA goes. And they've given up 200 home runs as a staff.
That's a ton.
You know, their ERA is 5.13. So, you know, they're going to have to go out there and score a lot of runs to win. If you can shut that offense down or keep it, I would say, to 3 or 4 or less, you have a pretty good chance.
Broken bat roller to second. Valbuena throws out Markakis, 1 down. Here's tonight's Alltel text poll question of the game. Who do you think should win the National League Manager of the Year? We're going to do our awards text polls as we go down the stretch here. 1 for Charlie Manuel, 2 for Tony La Russa, 3 for Joe Torre, 4 for Jim Tracy. What a job he's done since taking over in Colorado. 5 for Bruce Bochy. Text your answer to 31962. Results later in the game. Former Indians farmhand Luke Scott rifles one into right field. Chu with a backhanded stop. And Scott has a 1-out single.
Well, wasted no time. He got up there and a ball down. This Luke Scott likes the ball down. He's a good low ball hitter. Lakes that one into right field. Chu cuts it off. So it'll be the first hit of the ball game.
One on, one out here for Melvin Mora. Down low for ball 1. Melvin Mora has played more games at third base than any other Oriole in history other than the Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson. So he's been a mainstay for a number of years, but his days in an Oriole uniform could be coming to an end. A lot of speculation that he won't be back next year, but there are those within the Oriole ranks that I spoke to today that said they could see him coming back and being part of this team next year. Like with every Cub, it comes down to financial sense. In the air, pretty well hit. Crow back, runs it down. 2 away, back to first goes Luke Scott.
Well, we want you to fill a house for the United Way of Greater Cleveland on Wednesday. That'll be the last home game for the Indians. It'll be against the Chicago White Sox, and for every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity. And this year, it's raised over $500,000 for local charities. So the last one of the year is going to the United Way of Greater Cleveland.
Ty Wigington looks at a ball down low. One-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ty Wigington has spent time with the Mets, Pirates, Tampa Bay Rays, the Astros, now here in Baltimore. Originally a 17th round pick of the Mets back in 1998. Right back up the gut it goes. And the second hit in the inning for Baltimore as Luke Scott stops at second. 2 on, 2 out now for Michael Aubrey.
Well, you'll see that little two-seamer running inside. He did a nice job to dig that ball out from the inside. It may have been in off the plate, but he muscled it. And it went right up the middle into center field. So the second hit in the inning, it'll give former Indian Michael Aubrey a chance now.
Up high, ball 1. Aubrey went to the Orioles back on June 24th. Hit his first home run of the season just this past Wednesday. Aubrey's hit in 4 straight. One ball and 1 strike. Aubrey's early professional career with the Indians marred by injuries, and seemed like every other year was a setback on the injury front for Aubrey. No one ever doubted his ability to hit. The question became, as a first baseman, would he hit for any kind of power, especially at the major league level? 1-1 pick at the belt. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, we did witness his first major league home run, though, didn't we, down in Cincinnati?
Yeah, he started out, you remember, he started out on fire. And as I said, I mean, no one ever questioned this guy's ability to put the bat on the ball.
Well, he was more of an average hitter, just like that with that stroke.
Crow fields it, coming around third. Luke Scott, throw to the plate, offline. Scott scores. Orioles take the lead. Aubrey going to second on the throw. So the 2-out RBI hit has Baltimore in front, 1-0. Aubrey's throw to the, Crow's throw to the plate.
Put a nice short stroke on that sinker. And it gets in. And now here, I want to take a look at it because the runners move up. I want to see where Marte is. It's over his head. That's not you cannot make that throw. This is a mistake. That's why Marte's in position. You've got to hit him because now watch the runners. They just move.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're putting 2 more guys in scoring position. The guy's going to go to third. Okay, I have no problem with that. It's that guy going from first to second where it's designed to hit the cutoff man. You hit Marte. He can cut it and throw to second if he chooses to go. They have been doing that time and time again, and I mean they've got to learn. That's not the way to play the game of baseball. He's there for a reason. You've got to hit him.
Cesar Izturis. Trying to keep the inning alive for Baltimore. Carmona trying to quell the uprising here. 1-1 pitch. Tapper towards first. Marte on the big hop with the flip. And the inning is over. But Baltimore gets a 2-out RBI from former Indian Michael Aubrey. And they lead it 1-0 middle of the second.
It's a nice, clear September night.
Johnny Peralta, Matt Laporta, and Luis Valbuena here in the second. David Hernandez deals, and Johnny sends one sky high to right. Nick Markakis, one down. Well, the Indians got a big home run in the ninth inning last night, and that brings us up to $9,120 raised on the year for the Gathering Place. Great Clips donating $50 for every Indians homer. Rick and I chipping in $5 each.
We've been a little slump lately.
Yeah. That was what, the first homer in 7 games?
Yes, it was. Last night's Chu's homer was the first one in 7 games.
Matt Laporta looks at a strike. Matt Laporta walked in Eric Wedge's office today and said, "I'm ready. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play."
Well, and he puts him into the DH spot.
Well, that's
what he does, just to make sure he's not going to go out there and then bother that hip, putting him at first base.
That's what Eric told him. He said, "I'm going to DH you tonight. You get a chance to test that hip a little bit, and we'll see if we can get you back in there at first."
And a rule of thumb when you're a manager, and I've been around a lot of managers, and they talk to you when a guy, an athlete, or a player comes up to you and tells you he's ready, you want to give them that one extra day, and sometimes two, because sometimes they'll tell you they're ready, and the last thing you want to do is put them in there and they re-injure themselves, doing something stupid. So I can see why he DH'd him today.
Well, of course, with Hafner out,
right.
Travis played the last 3 games in a row. Gives him a perfect opportunity to DH Laporta tonight.
Well, and plus, he felt like Laporta might have been putting a little more pressure on that hip going from the outfield to first base, where you're making movements you don't normally make, a little different. And that maybe had something to do with it. But he was swinging the bat well, and he hit well against Baltimore when we were in Baltimore. And I think that's why Laporta probably said, "Hey, Skip, I want to play, man." He was on that 10-game hitting streak.
I had a good feeling last time I played these guys.
Nothing wrong with that.
Payoff pitch. Right back to the screen. Eric did say, he said, "Hey, one thing about Matt Laporta," he said he's working his tail off. I mean, this guy is coming early, doing everything they ask of him.
Well, you said it in the open. This kid, he was a 2007 draftee, just like Wieters behind the plate. And, once you get to the big league, it's one thing, but you got to work twice as hard to stay here.
Ground ball single in the right field for Laporta. Bounced it over the glove of Brian Roberts, who gave it a diving effort. And Laporta has the Indians' first hit tonight.
Pretty good approach, staying inside the baseball, going the other way. They wanted it away, and he missed his location. He missed it by a solid foot. They wanted the ball down and away. Wieters gets it up and in, and Laporta going the other way. You see that spin, that top spin on the baseball, really bounced over the glove of Roberts and into right field.
Now Luis Valbuena takes the ball down low.
This is a guy that's been struggling a little bit. Laporta now on a 5-game hitting streak. A lot of teams have been throwing Valbuena the off-speed pitches, the breaking balls, the change-ups. And he's been looking for the express or the number ones or the fastballs.
Luke Scott gave it a game effort, but that winds up in the seats. 1-1 to count. Yeah, it's the age-old story of adjusting in baseball. And for Valbuena, teams recognize he can hit the fastball.
Yeah.
They're going to make him improve his weakness, I guess.
Well, yeah, you attack him with the off-speed pitches, and you show him fastballs, not for good quality strikes off the plate. But he's going right at him there. That was a good fastball to hit. That was a good pitch to hit. He fouled off.
Orioles on top 1-0. Second inning, and the 1-2 pitch. Fouled away again. Another fastball. Andy Marte waits on deck with one out here in the second. Got him. Hernandez gets his first strikeout, 2 down here in the second.
And then he comes back with the changeup. Threw him a couple of fastballs, and you can see right by it. Swings through it, and you can see the movement on the changeup. So Hernandez gets his first strikeout. See if the Indians can do it now with 2 outs.
Andy Marte, like Laporta, the last time he saw Baltimore, he was a house of fire. Pops the first pitch up. Shallow right field. Roberts out. The second baseman will make the catch. 2 complete. Baltimore 1, Cleveland nothing. Building here in downtown Cleveland, which hovers high above the Progressive Field scoreboard. Fausto Carmona fires a first pitch strike to Brian Roberts.
This guy, how about this guy? Is he a double machine or what?
In 1936, Charlie Gehringer set the record for second baseman with 60 doubles. And Brian Roberts closing in at 55.
That's
and he
amazing.
already holds the record for second baseman with 50 or more doubles three times in his career.
I'd like to see him get it. I really would.
Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Here's a look at our league leaders, brought to you by the Indians Team Shops.
Look at Billy Butler is having a nice year as well. He's 1 away from the century or the 50 mark.
2-1 pitch. Missed inside. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, and the difference, Roberts can run. You know, he's a good base stealer. He can run. He scores runs. He walks a lot. Butler's a guy that can't run. You know, and he plays in that big old Kansas City park. But he uses the whole field.
Sliced out of play. Full count. Yeah, more often than not, Billy Butler's pulling into second base with a double. Roberts is rounding second, holding with a double.
Well, yeah. He may not have to slide as often as Butler does, I can say that. But as we mentioned, doubles are made out of the box a lot of the times.
Carmona walks the leadoff man. First free pass he's issued here tonight. Don't forget, fans, to stop by Alvin's Jewelers and check out their Pray for Rain promotion. If you buy your engagement ring at Alvin's and it rains on your wedding day, your engagement ring is free. Log on to alvinsjewelers.com for all the details. Felix Piet popped up to third his first time up tonight. Takes a strike.
Now, we have mentioned it. Robert's a guy who's a base stealer. He has 29 this year. He's been caught 7 times. You have to make him stop. He doesn't get a big lead. What he does, he times you. He keeps inching off, inching off, inching off, and if you don't make him stop, he'll steal it. And a lot of the times I've seen him where you don't even make a throw.
Base hit in the left field. And Roberts stops at second. So the first 2 Orioles aboard here in the 3rd inning. Let's get a look at our direct energy bringing the gas sequence. Go back to the 1st inning. Matt Wieters facing Carmona.
Well, and there's a guy that's been very, very hot, and Carmona didn't mess around. I'll tell you one thing. He throws that little 2-seamer for a strike, comes right back in with it, and puts him away. Looked like with maybe a slider.
Direct Energy, simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Fouls it away. The new statistic that baseball has been referring to really gauge a player's offensive productivity is OPS, on base plus slugging percentage. And among catchers in the month of September, Matt Wieters is 4th at 974.
Well, you know, that they come up with that stat now, but you know what? It used to be, well, when this guy's on base a lot and he hits for a lot of power, he's a pretty good player. They didn't put that OPS.
You didn't need to look at OPS.
Yeah, you pretty much figured it out when the outfielders are playing real deep and he's always on base.
There's a strike. No, I think nothing in 2 to count on Wieters. Miguel Olivo in the month of September has an OPS of over 1,100.
Well, he's been hitting the long ball. He's locked in.
Jorge Posada and Joe Mauer both over 1,000. And then Wieters, 4th among catchers. 0-2 pitch. Oh, man, that looked close.
Well, you know, when you throw a pitch inside, and I want to get another look at it because this ball's going to have some comeback. You know, you've got to give that pitch. That's a strike. You got to ring them up, and umpires don't like to call that on the inside corner. But when you're a pitcher and you work hard to get that ball inside like that, you have to have it called because you can't throw that ball out over the plate. It just a hitter will crush it.
Fouled back. Remains 1-2.
And Fausto's one of those guys, too. Now, emotionally, that could affect him, where he goes in and makes a pitch and he felt like it had it. We saw it hurt Verlander last night on a 2-2 pitch. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, and he lost it for a few hitters, and that's when the Indians got their 2 runs in the inning, in the 3rd inning.
The 1-2. Swung out and missed. He came back and got him. It's his 2nd strikeout. Both times he's fanned Wieters.
Well, he's fanned the right guy. He comes right back, and give him credit. He didn't give into it. He comes and he throws a better pitch. That's a good 2-seamer down. I mean, that had some velocity to it, 94.
And you know what you like about that, Rick, and this is a problem with Carmona that we noticed earlier. He was able to start that ball in and had it run.
Right.
As opposed to a lot of times his ball starts middle of the plate and runs off into the other batter's box.
Yeah, and that one was low, and it started low and it sinks. That, to me, is a great pitch, and that's his ground ball pitch. He didn't have that his last start. To me, in his last start, he was a 4-seamer slider pitcher.
Tell you what, check it out. It looks like he's made maybe a slight adjustment, unless my eyes are off. It doesn't look like he's on the extreme third base side of the rubber like he has been in the past.
Well,
looks like he's maybe more in the center of the pitching rubber.
Well, let's look, because he's from the stretch right now. I want to see him from the full windup, because normally when he comes from the full windup, he's extremely on the third base side. But that's something I always felt he should have move over with the movement on his pitches. That way he has an opportunity to get more plate with the way his ball moves into right-handers away to left-handers. If he starts more to the first base side, he could throw that ball at the left-handed hitter's hip, and you'd get the movement back in.
Missed with that pitch, and Lou Marson's going to go out for a chat. With Fausto Carmona, it's never been a question of his stuff or his ability. It's just been a matter of
mechanics.
When the game starts to speed up on him, keeping those emotions in check, because when the emotions get going a little bit, then the mechanics start to go.
And he becomes an emotional wreck. He flies open. He gets, he doesn't stay under control. And sometimes when we watch him, his front foot, he's never in the same landing area. Sometimes he'll open up and that ball will go up and away to the left-handers. Repeating delivery. And he's a guy that really, a lot of arms and legs, and he's a big guy to begin with. Boy, when you can harness him and keep him under control, he's got good stuff. He's the kind of guy that'll drive you crazy if you're a pitching coach.
Fouled away. You recall with CC Sabathia, he had problems sometimes with his emotions on the mound, but those were more born out of frustration,
right,
where he'd get mentally down on himself and beat himself up. With Carmona, it's not so much that. It's a matter of it's almost like his heart rate speeds up. And and when that happens, as we said, the mechanics start to get a little bit out of whack.
The harder you try, the worse it gets.
Yeah. Broken bat, roller to first. Marte goes to second for one. The relay to Carmona in time. An inning-ending double play. Nicely turned on all three sides, and the inning is over.
Nicely turned from Marte Cabrera to Carmona, and Carmona did a great job getting over there, and it gets him out of the inning.
Bottom of the third now, Lou Marson leads off. And the Indians catcher looks at a strike over the outside corner. Marson and Trevor Crow and Michael Brantley here in the home half of the third. Baltimore on top 1-0. Good run on that fastball, and it's 1-2.
Loses that front foot. He had to go down and dig it in. You see where he came off on the heel. Didn't stay balanced on that ball, but because that ball was inside, he had to dig those hands in.
Chopper up the middle is Torres. Takes care of that one down. Let's go back to the STO studios. Here's our Ford Sports Update with Al Pawlowski.
Matt and Rick, the Atlanta Braves just 3.5 back in the wild card race heading into tonight. And the Washington Nationals trying to help them out. Pete Orr, error. Then here with 2 outs in the first inning. Fly ball to left center. Nobody wants it. Falls in. Another run scores. Braves up 2-0 in the third. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Yeah, that didn't look real good. Those like 2 outfielders were looking at each other and watched the ball drop right in between them. Trevor Crowe takes a strike. Batting 9th tonight. And with Crowe in the 9 spot and Brantley behind him, if he can get himself on base, he got pretty good speed back-to-back in the order. But Crowe now down on the count 0-2. Since Trevor Crowe's recall on September 4th, he's batted .289. In the air towards center. PA will run it down 2 away.
Well, Sunday, when this series wraps up, all kids 14 and under will receive a mustard bobster. It's also Kids Fun Day, so the kids have an opportunity for the last time to get out there on the plaza with the pregame activities, run the bases after the ball game one more time before the winter hits.
Michael Brantley grounded to first his first time up. And he takes a strike. Missed outside, 1-1 the count. Brantley takes a pretty simple approach at the plate, trying to use the middle of the field. 2 balls and a strike. And like his teammate Matt Laporte, and like a lot of these guys, he's not afraid of hard work. He said, try to take 100 swings before the game, trying to get ready. This time he lines out hard to second base, and the Indians go 1-2-3. Orioles on top 1-0 through 3 innings of play. Ty Wigington for the Orioles. Carmona delivers a first pitch strike. Scott singled and scored the Orioles' only run in the second inning. Indian shift, 3 on the right side for Scott, dead pull hitter. And it's quickly 0-2. Last time up, he just hit it over the shift. Lined one into right field.
He had a string this year where he gets hot. When he gets hot, you know, he's like that typical home run hitter. He got on some kind of roll. Look at that.
One hop BB right at Valbuena. 1 out. Tonight's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. These are the kind of nights made for the blimp. Just a perfect evening on a cloudy sky.
Crystal clear. Look how nice that looks, all lit up.
Another big hopper to Valbuena, and another out, 2 down. Here's a look at our Subway fresh face of the game. Stephen Wright, not the comedian, but the right-handed pitcher of AA Akron. 10-0 with a .232 earned run average. Only walked 20, punched out 64. Subway, play hard, eat fresh.
Not the comedian. He's a good comedian, too. I like him.
He's still funny, even though you've heard most of his jokes.
Yeah.
Love the Stones.
Little dry.
Can't believe they're still doing it after all these years. Fred, Barney, Wilma. Ty Wigington looks at a ball outside, 2-0. He singled his first time up.
Well, he got the first 2-out base hit back in the second inning that kept the inning going for Michael Albury, who drove in the only run in the ball game.
Just missed. 3-0. Talked earlier about the fact that there are many who believe that Melvin Moore, who was a free agent at season's end, will not be back next year. If he's not, Ty Wigington would be a logical candidate to take over next year at third base.
Yeah, but defensively, how is he?
Well,
Moore is pretty good. I don't think Wigington's a very good third baseman.
I don't know that I'd put him in his class, but let's just see. Last year, played 82 games at third base, 6 errors.
Okay.
Big bouncer towards third. Speaking of the hot corner, Johnny Peralta throws him out, and the Orioles go 1-2-3. 1-0 Baltimore, middle of the fourth. off for the Tribe. Cabrera fly to center his first time up. Rounds at foul. Well, we've talked a lot about the Indians' offensive struggles, and you over that 3-game sweep at the hands of the Tigers, the biggest problem the Indians had in that series was getting the clutch hit.
Yeah.
And without or with the absence of the long ball, which they did get a home run in the 9th inning last night, you've got to try to string together a lot of singles to make those rallies work, and that's tough. PA runs this fly ball down, 1 away. The All Care Dental and Dentures Smiling Easy Cam tonight. And a special hello to our friends watching in Boardman, Ohio. All Care Dental and Dentures makes seeing the dentist easy. Actually, that's
the east. That's what I meant, yes.
Over by Youngstown.
Exactly. Sorry, I meant east. I said west.
If the Boardman Spartans are playing at home tonight, the whole town may be at the football game. Shin-Soo Choo fly to center his first time up. Two balls and a strike. Three and 1 to count. Indians have been limited to 1 hit so far tonight. That was a Matt Laporta single in the 2nd. And their first walk of the night. We'll put Chu at first base with 1 out for Johnny Peralta. Peralta flying to right in the 2nd inning. Runner goes. Great jump by Chu.
Beautiful.
He had that one stolen off the pitcher, even though Wieters dropped the ball, so never had a chance to throw him out. I don't think he would have had a chance anyway.
Well, that's a good thing because he's been throwing well, and let's get aggressive. You got to get back into this thing. You can't sit back and wait. He did it early in the count, which you like. And Wieters just took his eye off it because he realized the kind of jump that Chu had. He had an excellent jump, so he wanted to get rid of it in a hurry and just missed the ball completely.
Belt high strike. And Matt Wieters, you may recall, he threw out Carl Crawford twice in a game a week or so ago.
Yes, it was.
It's only the 2nd time that's ever happened to Carl Crawford.
The other guy to do it just left town.
Gerald Laird when he was with Texas. Yeah.
Well, Laird, we've seen it. He's got a good arm. Laird's throwing 42% out this year, but this guy, for a rookie, obviously we don't get to see him enough. We just we saw him in Baltimore, and it was at the end of August for the first time all year. It's almost like this. It's almost like interleague play for us now with the Orioles. That's about as much as we play them.
Check.
Good pitch.
And he struck him out.
That's a good breaking ball.
Second strikeout for Hernandez, 2 down in the inning.
And the struggles for Johnny continue. That was an excellent pitch. You watch the break. He's sitting right there. He didn't give him an outside target. And that ball really had some good downward movement. Gets his second strikeout in the 2nd out of the inning. Good curveball.
So that'll bring up Matt Laporta. Looking for a 2-out hit to try and tie the game here. In the air, left center field. The left fielder, Scott, says, "I'll take it." And then at the last moment, PA grabs it and avoids the collision. 4 complete. It's Baltimore 1, Cleveland 0. Call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. Gorgeous Friday evening here in downtown Cleveland. 1-zip Baltimore on top, 5th inning action. Michael Aubrey, Cesar Torres, and Brian Roberts coming to the plate for the Birds. Aubrey drove in the only run of the game with a 2-out RBI single in the second. Fouls this one out of play. Fausto Carmona now 11 out of 17 first pitch strikes. But more importantly, 7 ground ball outs.
Yeah, that's what you like.
3 fly ball outs, 2 strikeouts.
You really like that. His last start, he didn't have that ground ball out, and he's thrown some nice 2-seamers tonight.
Last 5 outs have been on the ground.
You know, and I'm looking at him from the full windup, and it does look like to me he may be a few inches in toward the middle of the rubber.
Not on the extreme right side anymore. I mean, he's still out there, but not, not
and
as
you know
far
what?
out.
I like that. Boy, oh boy, if there's any adjustment I think this kid could have made, it's going more to the middle of the rubber.
Big bouncer to first. Marte will take it himself, 1 down. This scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Cesar Torres rounded out to first base his first time up. Carmona with the 0-1. A little tapper just past the mound. Valbuena will have to hurry, and on the bare hand grab, he couldn't come up with it cleanly. So as Torres reaches on the infield single, almost like a drag bunt.
Yeah, not much you could do there. This kid, watch how he's getting out of the box. He tops it. He smells an infield hit. And once it gets past Carmona, it would have to be an absolutely perfect play by Valbuena. And he'd have to field it cleanly, barehanded, and get rid of it and throw a perfect strike.
So 1 on, 1 out for Brian Roberts, who has flied to right and walked. Down low. Torres has good wheels, the runner at first base. He has 11 steals on the year. But with Roberts at the plate, he can have a good chance to score if Roberts doubles. He can score from first base with that speed. 11 out of 15 on the year.
Well, Baltimore not a team that runs a lot. They're 13th. They're still ahead of the Detroit Tigers, who are last. And when you have a guy up like this, Roberts, who can hit doubles, he has 55. A double will score him, so you don't have to worry about stealing. Unless you really know you can steal a base. You don't want to make out any extra outs on the bases. Because Baltimore's a pretty good offensive club, especially in their ballpark.
The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. Fans, don't forget, you can pick up STO gear at stostuff.com. The Rick Manning and his partner bobbleheads are still available, but
what is that?
Only while supplies last. You can grab a Bruce Drennan I Love You Cleveland bottle opener. STO gear only at stostuff.com.
You must be reading verbatim, huh, today? Rick Manning and his partner?
That's just the way they write them.
Okay, don't be afraid to mix in an ad lib here. I'm getting that read tomorrow, Murph. It'll be the Matt Underwood bobblehead because he cut off the Rick Manning end of it.
Well, if you look at the bobblehead,
I haven't seen it.
You've seen a picture of it.
Just a picture. I don't know if they exist.
I think the heads are interchangeable.
Came out of the same mold.
No, they broke the mold after you, pal.
I think I got more hair than you on that bobblehead.
Well,
the spray on.
The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Carmona gets his third strikeout, 2 down.
Well, I like the strike to ball ratio Carmona has going tonight. I mean, he's had good sliders from. I don't know if it has anything to do with where he's throwing that ball from on the rubber, but that he's had good changeups. He's had a good two-seamer. And now, who is who? That's what. Oh, there's Matt. It's got names. Take the nameplate off, and we wouldn't be able to tell.
I'm the one with the patent leather coat.
And look at your hairs down the middle.
This one's driven toward the gap, deep right center field, and a fair ball
Get
up
in.
onto
All
the
right.
track and into the seats. A ground rule double, and that will
break.
save the Tribe a run for sure, at least for the time being.
That is a huge break right there. You're right, because he would have scored easily. With 2 outs, you're off and running at the crack of the bat. And that ball hits the track and goes up into the seats. It saves him a run. So now maybe Fausto can take advantage of it. Watch this ball hit the track, bounce up into the seats. Ground rule double. Hit that guy in the chest. His partner will get it for him, though.
So the PA double has Baltimore threatening with 2 outs here in the 5th, and Matt Wieters, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, steps in. Swing and a miss. The Wieters can't help himself chasing that sinker.
That one had some great movement to it.
Although sometimes, registered 88, you almost wonder if that's a changeup.
Well, you're right. It's tough to tell sometimes with Fausto. Because he will throw his changeup harder at times. So anywhere from 86 to 88. That was an 88 pitch there, too. So that must have been a changeup.
This next one will be number 70 on the night. But as Rick said before, 51 strikes to just 18
Love
balls.
the ratio. He rarely is Fausto like this, where he's throwing so many strikes.
There's the good fastball, but hasn't been able to get that call when he's tried to run it over the inside corner tonight.
Baltimore, they got their run in the second inning with 2 outs. But he caught a break when that ball bounced into the seat. See if he can get out of it and keep it a 1-0 game.
Ran it in on his hands, 2-2.
Boy, right there. Come get it. He comes up empty.
Two on, 2 out, and the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Carmona gets out of it. And Matt Wieters has a hat trick. 4 strikeouts for Carmona. 1-0 Baltimore, middle of the 5th.
Right.
There's Luis Valbuena, struck out his first time up. Indians down 1-0. Tribe has had one hit. That came in the second inning. Their only other base runner was a Shin-Soo Choo walk in the fourth. No balls, 2 strikes. Did he go? They appeal. He did not.
Looked like a little slider down and in, and he was able to check it.
Hit in the air, deep left field. On the run, Scott. He's out of room. It's out of here. Luis Valbuena onto the home run porch has tied the game at 1. His 9th home run of the season. RBI number 27.
Well, let's check out our Pepsi home run replay. And, you know, Valbuena going the other way. That wind's a pretty stiff wind blowing in from right center field, but he goes down the left field line, and it's a fastball. He was able to track it enough and let it get deep enough back into the zone where it just gets over the railing onto the porch, and we have a tie ball game. Only the second hit by the Indians, but for Valbuena, his 9th home run. 25th home run given up by Hernandez.
And now Andy Marte laces one down the left field line. That'll run into the corner. Marte can cruise into second base with a double. So suddenly the Indians taking aim at David Hernandez here in the 5th.
Comes up with his second straight fastball, and the second time around, these two boys were waiting on it. Marte drilled it down the left field line. So back-to-back hits, and the Indians now with an opportunity to take the lead.
Lou Marson steps in, grounded out to short his first time up. Trying to go the other way, down the right field line. It's going to go to the wall. That's going to bring home Marte. Marson into second base. Back-to-back doubles, 2-0 Cleveland. Marson with his first RBI.
Well, and he had a job to do, and he did it well. Not only did he get him over, he got the bonus, he got him in on a good job. I was going to say, he goes that way anyway, consciously thinking of going to right field. With nobody out and another fastball. So 3 straight fastballs, and Indians they're sitting there waiting on it. They've taken advantage of it. 3 straight extra base hits, and they have the lead 2-1.
Now Trevor Crowe, fly to center his first time up.
This is where you take advantage of it. Now you've got it's just like, all right, man on second, nobody out, get him over, get him in.
Crowe pulled the bat back, pitch went low.
For Crowe, he's a guy that has to get him over, and probably with the bunt because he's not a pull hitter. They couldn't do it last night when they had 2 in already against Verlander, second and third, and nobody out. They didn't take advantage of it. Tonight you have to do that.
Bunts it off the plate, and it does go foul.
Well, that's a bunt. It looked like he tried to go down the first baseline, and now what you really want to do is go to the third baseline. Force Melvin Moore to come in and field that ball. And then that way it's an automatic job of getting him to third base. You don't want to be too fine. You don't want to have to be perfect.
He squares. Bunts it perfectly to third. Mora.
Good job.
Throws it down the line. That'll get another run home. Marson scores. Crow digging for second to throw, and they didn't get him. Somehow he beat the tag. 3-1 Cleveland.
And that's what happens sometimes when you play for one run, you end up putting the pressure on the defense and you can have a big inning. It was a perfect bunt. It'll be a sacrifice. And then I'm sure you're going to be an error on the throw. Beautiful bunt. So there's the sacrifice to get him to third. There's more. The throw is wide up the line, and Roberts wasn't going to come in and try and get it. Crow hustles into second base. The throw there looked like he had him, but he's called safe. So the error on Moore, they score the run, and you're right back at it again. Get him over.
Down low. Wasn't it, Rick, just 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago, when Brian Roberts had that
at Boston?
Play at first base like that?
Yes, it was. Where I don't know if it was his shoulder that he hurt.
I think it was an elbow or something.
Yes.
Got his arm caught in there. The runner came by, and it was ugly looking.
I think that happened against the Red Sox. I could be wrong.
Michael Brantley takes a strike in the count, 1-1.
There you go.
Pulled it back. Pitch was up high.
That's good. And you know, as a base runner, that's sometimes in this situation where you can get fooled. Crow has enough speed. You have to make sure that ball is bunted, because sometimes when you're on second, it looks like he's going to bunt it. They bunt through it, and you get caught way off second base, and that catcher can throw behind you. Just make sure it gets on the ground before you take off.
Brantley fouls it away.
I don't like that. I wish he would have stayed with the bunt to move him over. Now you're forcing him to try and pull a ball. Even though the count went in his favor, you had the pressure on the defense the last time. They threw the ball away. Why not put it right back on him?
So the count now 2-2 with Trevor Crow at second base. And he strikes him out looking. Let's go back and check out Al Pulaski with a Ford Sports update in the STO studios.
Matt and Rick, let's go to New York. Yankees, Red Sox, A-Rod leaving the yard. 2-run homer here in the bottom of the third inning. Put the Yanks at 3-0. They've added another. It's now 4-0. New York still batting in the bottom of the third. Yanks trying to wrap up the East. The Red Sox, the wild card.
All right, thanks, Al. As Drupal Cabrera 0 for 2, twice has fly to center field here tonight. By the way, I went back and looked it up. It was that exact same kind of play that Brian Roberts, and it was 2005, believe it or not, it was that far back.
4 years ago, wow.
Bubba Crosby of the Yankees is who he collided with at first base. Had his arm in there, and as he went back, he dislocated his elbow.
I remember that. Okay, that's why he went like this.
Yeah, I'm not accusing him of gator arming it,
no.
But it looked like he didn't want any part of sticking that arm out there.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
When that guy's coming down, hey, when you've lost 92 games, what are you going to do? You kidding me? You don't gator arm it if the throw's not there. I mean, if it was close enough, he would have tried for it.
1-1 pitch. A bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Indians back with a 3 spot here in the 5th to overcome a 1-0 deficit. Valbuena's homer tied it. And then back-to-back doubles by Marte and Marson. The errant throw by Melvin Mora. And the Indians have a 3-1 lead. Cabrera doesn't like the call. It's 2-2. in the air. Shallow left, long run for Luke Scott. And he makes the grab and foul ground. And Trevor Crowe has to hold at second, 2 away.
Well, visit the official online shop of the Cleveland Indians at Indians.com. You can browse the largest online selection of authentic merchandise. Includes caps, T-shirts, jerseys, and more. So get your team gear straight from the source. Shop at Indians.com.
Chu's crew looking for a long ball here.
I'll take a base hit to get that runner in from second.
A little bit high for ball one. Chu walked his last time up. Even with the Indians' struggles during this 11-game losing streak, Chu, over his last 13 games, has hit .378. Leader sets up outside corner. Chu lifts it in the air. Deep left center. Scott, the left fielder, makes the catch. Well, the Indians get 3 runs, and after 5, now lead it 3-1. He'll go to work here in the 6th inning against Nick Markakis, Luke Scott, Melvin Mora. The heart of the order for Baltimore.
Well, this is where you really want to see Carmona put a 0 on the board. Last night they couldn't hold it. They scored 2. Detroit came right back and got 4.
Markakis hammers it deep right field, and this baby is long gone. Markakis jumps on it for his 17th home run of the year. No doubt about it, shot off the bat of the Baltimore big man.
And that is so vital to go out there and just try and your offense works hard to put the pressure on. Man, there you go. He just left that one middle of the plate. Down and in, Markakis drilled it out of here, so they come right back. It's a 3-2 ball game. Remember, that's how the Indians rally started, was a solo home run. Leading off the inning, they had back-to-back doubles after that, and they were able to put 3 on the board.
Luke Scott, 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Good changeup by Carmona, 0-2.
Well, someone got a hold of it. There it is.
Come on,
be
give it
careful.
back, Grandpa.
Well, yeah, Grandpa wants to look at it. He might have caught it, but make sure she doesn't throw it back in play.
Struck him out looking. Carmona locks up Luke Scott, his 5th strikeout tonight. 1 down in the 6th.
Check out Fausto tonight. Looks like he's working more from the center of the rubber. And he's really pounding the strike zone compared to what we have seen. 5 strikeouts on the night. And he's throwing that little changeup or sinker down and in. It looks like he's getting that slider into the left-handers where he's had a tough time before pitching to that part of the plate.
Yeah.
Opposite his arm side, where normally he likes to throw that sinker down and into the right-handers. Now he can be effective to the left-handers.
Melvin Mora lays off 2-0. Mora 0 for 2. He's flied to center, grounded to second. Mora lifts it in the air right field. Chu makes the easy catch, 2 down. Another look at the Alltel text poll question of the game. Who do you think should win the National League Manager of the Year award? Is it Charlie Manuel, the world champion Phillies, Tony La Russa of the Cardinals, Joe Torre on the left coast, Jim Tracy, who has the Rockies zeroing in on the wild card, or Bruce Bochy of the Giants? Text your answer to 31962. Results coming up. Ty Wigington fouls it just over the top of the dugout. Stay with it, stay with it. Did she get it? I guess she did.
Yeah, she got it.
She scrapped. I give her credit. And she stayed right with it.
You want it, you got to get after it. Got to work hard for that foul ball.
Sometimes you got to get your pants dirty. Wow. Be another battle coming up here. Nice grab. Oh, everybody's being generous tonight. And the 0-2. Way outside. Don't forget, STO is your home for high school football tonight at 11. The 3-1 Twinsburg Tigers take on the undefeated Brunswick Blue Devils. Brunswick number 11 number 1 in the Northeast Ohio Conference, according to the MacAttack Ohio High School Football Power Poll. Twinsburg and Brunswick tonight at 11, only on STO. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty here in the 6th inning. Indians lead it 3-2. Full count. Carmona, 85 pitches on the night, 60 have been for strikes. And the payoff. Single in the left field for Ty Wigington. That's his 2nd hit tonight. And it keeps the inning alive for Michael Aubrey.
Well, down 0-2. He worked it to 3-2, and that was a good at-bat for Wigington to get a base hit and keep it going.
Tigers White Sox scoreless in the 2nd. Twins Royals also scoreless in the 2nd. Detroit leads Minnesota by 3 games in the AL Central. I think Victor Martinez might have just homered for Boston.
Well, if he did, that's a hitting streak. He continues that career high. What would that be? 24, I believe.
Aubrey lines one deep right field. Chu won't be able to track it down. He'll play it off the fence. Into third is Wigington. He'll be held there. Throw to second, not in time. And the Orioles continue to come right back. Aubrey's second hit tonight, and they've got runners at second and third with 2 down.
Boy, again, Shin-Soo Choo now with a man on first base and 2 outs. That ball you've got to throw to home plate with 2 outs. He's trying to throw it to stop the double. You don't worry about that guy. You're more concerned with the guy on first base. And the cutoff and relay where Valbuena was, he was in the order. Look where he's at. He's over near first base. You don't worry about that. You got to cut that run off. Not that he didn't score. But the proper place to throw that ball is down to your cutoff man at second base.
Take another look as you see Tony Sipley.
I mean, look, let's go. Your main concern is stopping that runner from scoring from first base with 2 outs. And again, he did this when we were on the road trip, and I think it was in Oakland, and he tried to throw the guy out at second base. You got to stop the run at home.
Carmona had 2 outs and the base is empty before Ty Wigington pulled a single through the left side. And now after the double to Michael Aubrey, the Orioles have a chance to regain the lead with a base hit right here. Cesar Torres will be the batter.
Wigington and Aubrey 4 for 6. So the 7-8 guys have done some damage, and they've always done it with 2 outs. So all that came with 2 outs, all those 4 hits.
His Torres had a little swing and bunt single his last time up.
He's trying to do it again.
I was just going to say, you can't really try to do that, can
No,
you?
no, he's just hitting the top part of that baseball with the sink on it. No, he's not trying to hit it there.
Down too low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cesar Izturis, the older brother of former Indians farmhand Maicer Izturis, now with the Angels.
I'll tell you the reason why he's hitting the top part of the baseball. He's trying to pull everything. You know, with Carmona, you really want to try, if you're left-handed and he's throwing you that sinker, that changeup, to try and go inside out and shoot it to left field. Well, he's rolling over on it, and that's why he's hitting the top part of the baseball.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Carmona comes back and gets him. Half dozen punch-outs for the Indians right-hander. Tribe still leads it 3-2, middle of the 6th. Shake. He's not telling you nice job. Go back out there and get him again.
All right.
Well, definitely a good outing for Carmona.
Yes, it was. That's the best I've seen him pitch in a long time.
Johnny Peralta 0 for 2 tonight. Breaking ball in for a strike to even the count. Johnny just one hit in his last 32 at bats. Swung on and missed, 1-2 the count. Good breaking ball, and he rung him up with it. 4th strikeout for Hernandez, 1 down in the 6th.
Well, tomorrow, all fans in attendance will receive a Grady Sizemore diving catch bobblehead. There you get a look at it. You want tickets? 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com.
Here now is Matt Laporta stepping in. And a first pitch fastball strike. Laporta has singled and flied to center tonight. Right back over the screen.
Well, we want to send along some birthday wishes. Happy 70th birthday to Shirley Lehman from her husband Dan. And Dan used to be the old pie man from the Der Dutchman restaurant down in Walnut Creek.
Oh, boy.
Yes, indeed. Great pies. Also, Mike Keefe of Glenford, Ohio, turning 33. And Chase and Marianne Getz of Avon celebrating their 11th anniversary.
The 0-2. Check to swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside out swing. Aubrey backhands it and then flips to Hernandez, 2 away. Aerial coverage tonight provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Just a spectacular Friday night here in downtown Cleveland. 3-2, Tribe on top. Luis Valbuena homered his last time up. Takes a fastball strike. Valbuena took a fastball the other way, just over the wall in left field under the home run porch. His ninth home run of the year.
A pitch, a fastball up. And he stayed on it. I give him credit, boy. I didn't think he had to pop that way, but he got it out, and that got the inning going. It was only the second hit, but got the Indians on the board for their first run. They added 2 more after that.
Up the middle he goes. This time a base hit single for Valbuena. Again, it's a pitch up and away.
Yes,
Stand
it was.
right on it.
Yes, it was. That's the thing. When the pitch is elevated or up in the strike zone, it's a little easier to reach. Doesn't make your legs work as hard to try and get that ball and drive it the other way. So he was able to just fight it off, and that one goes up the middle.
Andy Marte yanked one into the left field corner for a double his last time up. Missed outside for ball 1. Inside, he missed 2-0. Hernandez, 90 pitches on the night. 56 have been for strikes. Like Carmona, Hernandez has been pretty aggressive, though, for the most part.
Well, he's that type of pitcher where, he comes at you. And early in the game was a lot of fastballs. He's got a pretty good curveball. But he's an aggressive guy for a young pitcher.
Hernandez tonight has walked 1 and struck out 4. Marte with his second hit of the night. Dumps a base hit into left field, and Valbuena stops at second. So now the Indians looking for a little 2-out damage.
Sounded like he cracked his bat. But he got it into left field. So Marte 2 for 3. Well, you're going to get a trip to the mound from the pitching coach. Going to come out and talk to Hernandez.
Rick Kranitz out to talk with Hernandez. Bird bullpen busy. Hey, don't forget, fans, Browns Trips Packs are still available. Build your own 3-game ticket plan, including the interstate battle against the Bengals, for under $100. Get your Browns Trips Pack online at clevelandbrowns.com. Lou Marson steps in. He doubled in a run and scored his last time up. Marson took his pitch the other way down the right field line his last time up. He was in that situation with a runner at second base and nobody out, so he was looking to go the other way with it.
Yes, he was. He
Good approach.
Yeah, he did a great job. Every at bat, his natural instinct is to try and go the other way, so that was a perfect situation for him.
Called a strike. 1-2. Royals and Twins still scoreless in the third. Tigers, White Sox still scoreless also in the third. Check to swing. Did he go?
Yeah, he went.
Sure did. They ring him up.
Yes, he
and
did.
the inning is over. Indians strand a pair. 6 complete. 3-2 Tribe. Top of the order for Baltimore. And coming on now for Cleveland is left-hander Tony Sipp. Tony Sipp making his 45th appearance of the year. 2 wins, no losses, ERA .313. In 37 1/3 innings, Tony has walked 22, struck out 45.
Well, and up to the bullpen now to see if they can hold on to this 1-run lead for Fausto Carmona.
Carmona walked 1, struck out 6, allowing 2 runs on 9 hits in his 6 innings of work. There's David Hernandez, who's on the short end of the score at this point. Sipp misses up high, ball 1 to Brian Roberts.
Tony came on in yesterday's game against the Tigers, walked a batter and gave up a base hit, and that was it. A brief appearance.
Oh, he's missed on the first 3 to Roberts here. And he walked him. So the leadoff man aboard here in the 7th for Baltimore, and it brings up Felix P.A. Here's our Northern Ohio Toyota dealers game recap. Luis Valbuena's homer in the 5th tied it. Then Lou Marson with an RBI double put the Indians in front 2-1. Nick Markakis, his solo blast brought the Orioles to within a run at 3-2. That's where we are. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Felix P.A. 2 hits on the night, a single and a double. And Tony yet to throw a strike.
Yeah, I know it. That's not the way you want to come out of that bullpen, a 1-run game. You don't want to walk the leadoff hitter. You're at the top of the lineup.
Double play ball to short.
How about that help?
Cabrera to Valbuena, turns 2. Felix P.A. pulls up lame past the bag at first and goes down in a heap. I mean, he went grabbing for his hip or his thigh, and he went down in a hurry, and he is in all kinds of pain. Almost looked like he was pointing to his thigh as though he may have had a quad pull.
Well, he swings at a pitch. He never made Tony Sipp throw a strike and grounds right into the double play. Good for the Indians. And he hustled down the line to try and beat it out, see if he can see anything. Hits first base, coming back, and probably looks like that quad muscle right there.
No, Rick, it almost looked like when he landed on the bag, as though the jarring action of landing his foot on the base caused that injury, which is really kind of bizarre, but at least on the replay, that's what looked like caused it. He looks fine here. He looks good. And then as soon as he hits the bag.
He hits the base okay. I mean, he didn't come up and, I
don't know, just.
He came out of a ball game when we were in Baltimore. He got hurt and came out of a game.
That was when he had a groin injury. Remember, he slipped going for a fly ball?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't want to miss the Indians Team Shop Fan Appreciation Sale today. It's now through Sunday, and all items in the stores are an additional 25% off. It's from anything from jerseys to hats to bobbleheads, and it's great savings at all Team Shop locations. That's today through Sunday, 25% off.
Tell you what, man, I have never seen a guy, I don't think, pull a muscle and go down like that. He looked literally like his leg came off. He's going to need help just getting off the field.
Well, they have enough people out there to help him.
Hey, fans, don't forget Panini's newest and largest location is now open in Westlake with a brand new menu. And that new menu is coming to a Panini's near you. Keep up to date. Visit them online at paninisgrill.com. So Felix P.A. helped off the field into the Oriole dugout, and he'll be headed to the trainer room, if not to the hospital. It'll bring up Matt Wieters, who is just happy to see anybody other than Fausto Carmona on the mound right now.
That's the truth.
0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. And while it's not uncommon for a guy to strike out 3 times in a game, when you consider what Wieters had been doing coming in,
yeah, he
that's
was
the
hot.
unusual part.
He was very hot, you're right, especially in the number 3 hole.
Came in 12 for his last 22. With 4 runs scored, 3 runs batted in. But Carmona cooled him off. And that double play ball really has Tony Sipp breathing a little bit easier right now. But he's having a tough time throwing strikes tonight, 2-0. Jose Veras loosening for the Tribe. Spun him out of the way, 3-0. You can just tell by the way Tony's reacting after he lets the ball go that something's just not quite right tonight.
Well, he doesn't have his control. And remember, it's back-to-back nights now. He was in for a brief stint last night. And they have 2. You got Veras and Perez up. That's his second walk in the inning. And that goes to show you, Felix P.A., he swung a pitch when Sipp had never thrown a strike.
Carl Willis going to go out for a chat. This is one of those nights where Tony Sipp's got to pull himself up by the bootstraps and somehow find a way to get the 3rd out in the inning.
Well, he's got a tough left-hander to face right here. Markakis in his last at-bat went deep. But the one good thing is he has struggled for him in the month of September. But this guy is always a dangerous hitter. I don't care, righty, lefty. He uses the whole field. There's a little pep talk right there. Let's go. Get it back. Throw strikes. Trust your stuff.
Nick Markakis homered his last time up. Deep into the seats in right center field. And he misses for ball 1. Two balls, no strikes.
Well, he's only thrown 1 strike since he's been in here, and that's the pitch that PA swung at and hit into the double play. 12 pitches, 1 strike. Boy, I don't know. Is there something wrong with him? He's never been like this. Look at that. That is amazing. I don't think I've ever seen him like this.
Now the 3-0. Bullseye. Tell you what, I mean, I'm sure for pitchers, when you start to lose it like that, that strike zone looks like it's smaller and smaller and smaller. Caught the outside corner. Now Markakis sharply snapped his head around and says to James Hoy, no way.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're struggling like that, I mean, it's rarely will you get a pitch. Let's see where this one is. Well, it's hard to tell from that angle. I can't tell.
Runner at first will take off. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He gets out of it. And Markakis fires the bat all the way to the on-deck circle. And the Indians maintain a 3-2 lead. Middle of the seventh.
.com/Go Tribe for details. And by AM/PM. Too much good stuff.
We are back here at Progressive Field. Jeff Fiorentino taking over in center field. As you may have seen, Felix P.A. went off with help after he came up lame passing first base last inning. So he's out of the game. Alberto Castillo comes in, left-hander, replacing David Hernandez. The Orioles starter went 6 innings tonight, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned on 6 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. Trevor Crowe, 0 for 2 tonight. Missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's right down the heart of the plate, 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he hammers one toward left center field in the gap. This will go to the fence. Crowe will roll into second base with a leadoff double. Nice piece of hitting by Trevor Crowe. Looked like he really had to pull his hands in to get him through.
Now that ball was upstairs, and he just really brought him in and put a short, quick swing on it. Plugged the gap. Now they had this same situation back in the 5th inning when Brantley, after Crowe tried the bunt and the sacrifice, and Brantley on a 2-1 pitch ended up swinging the bat, and he struck out, and that at bat never moved the runner over and sort of put an end to that rally.
Brantley is a guy who does pride himself on his ability to bunt. Pops this one up, and it drops foul. Told me that's definitely something at the major league level that he wants to work on and have it be a real vital part of his game.
Well, if he's going to hit in the top part of the lineup, he's not a power hitter. It certainly can only help his game. He has better than average speed. But this is something everybody should be able to do, is the old sacrifice bunt. Especially
high, throw down a second, but not in time as Crow able to get back.
You know, this is going to be a team next year that has to do this 1 through 9 in that lineup, because they're not going to be a power hitting ball club. And that's how they're going to have to manufacture runs. They're going to have to move runners. They're going to have to do the little things fundamentally on a daily basis to succeed. And then, you know, you move them over and you end up getting timely hits.
Almost up around the noggin, but he was able to get out of the way. 2-1.
This guy is all over the place. But that's, I mean, when you're bunting, that's what you want to do. Just make sure you get a strike. Don't help him out. There's one right there. Good job. Well done.
Crow to third base with 1 out now. And we've got time to go back to the studios for a Ford Sports update, find out how the Twins and Royals are doing. Here's Al.
Well, man, with the White Sox and Tigers scoreless going into the 5th inning, Minnesota will look to gain some ground here. They were ahead 1-0, but the Royals tied with this blast by Billy Butler, his 20th of the year. 1-1, Minnesota and Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. As Dribble Cabrera, 0 for 3 tonight, will try to extend the Indians' lead. Infield in for Baltimore. Cut of the grass around the horn. And a swing and a miss. And I think on the follow-through, Cabrera's bat conked Wieters on the head. Inadvertent, but occasionally it happens.
Well, yeah, he was fooled by it. You're right. That's why they wear the helmets, man. Look at that conk.
The 0-1. Blooped foul out of play. 0-2 the count.
Well, right now it seems like as Dribble getting a little aggressive. You know, when you're not swinging the bat like you should, you get a little anxious up there and you start swinging at everything.
One of the real cool spells we've seen him go through. Just 6 for his last 35 at the plate. And they got him. Struck him out. Big out for Alberto Castillo. 2 down here in the 7th. And now the fans chant for Chu, who steps toward the plate with 2 down and a runner at third.
Helping him out. Expanded the strike zone.
Ball in off the plate. Indians just 1 for 8 tonight with a runner in scoring position. Chu trying to improve that number right here. Drive deep to right. Markakis back, reaches up and pulls it down. And the inning is over. So the Indians strand that runner at third base. Will go to the 8th, 3-2 Cleveland.
in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning here in Cleveland. 3-2, Tribe on top. Luke Scott, Melvin Moore, Ty Wigington. And Tony Sipp back out there in the eighth inning.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty that first inning. He was able to get through it. He threw very few strikes. He threw actually 4 strikes in that inning, and he was able to get through it and get 3 outs, and he walked 2. But he got through it. He's back out there again, and maybe he can settle down, and maybe he's only here for 1 hitter. He may be out here just to face Luke Scott because you've got the 2 right-handers, Moore and Wigington, coming up next, and you've got Veras in the bullpen that is ready. So this may be the only hitter of the inning for Tony Sipp.
1-1 pitch. Right back to the screen. The scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Luke Scott didn't look right after that follow-through. Almost appeared as though he may have tweaked something. Umpire giving him a little extra time. The 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air, deep right center field. Chu racing back, won't get to it. Short hops the fence. And Luke Scott into second base with a leadoff double. So that's going to do it for Tony Sipp. He was out just to face the left-hander. And that left-hander, the tying run, is now in scoring position.
Hung him a breaking ball. Slider out over the plate. Plugged the gap. It short hops the wall. So the third double for the Orioles, and it's a leadoff variety, and that'll do it for Tony Sipp tonight.
Jose Veras coming on when we come back. Scoring position, nobody out. Here in the eighth inning. And right-hander Jose Veras coming on for the Tribe.
Normally this would be an inning that Chris Perez would be in, but he threw about, 30 pitches or so last night, so he must be unavailable for the evening. When you look at Veras, on the year, he has had 12 inherited runners. 3 of them have scored. So his job right now to hold on to that 1-run lead. They have a man on second, nobody out. On to face Mora, Wigington, and Aubrey.
Mora 0 for 3 is fly to center, fly to right, grounded to second. Barris starts him out with a slider down low for ball one. Fastball just missed. Thought he had the outside corner, didn't get the call, and it's 2-0. Moore got a piece of it. Now 2-1. Now a 2-1. Got him. Went chasing that slider. 2-2. He went fishing for it.
Well, that's his bread and butter is that slider. And if you can get a hitter to chase that, that's fine. If he lays off of it, it's a ball, but it's got good break to it. That's why I think it's important if Veras can get ahead of the hitters, then he can throw that pitch, and he will end up getting them to chase it, the right-handers anyway.
2-2. Missed away with it. Full count. Melvin Moore with Ty Wigington waiting on deck. Moore, a father of 6. He and his wife welcomed quintuplets into the world a number of years ago.
That'll get you to 6 in a hurry.
Now the 3-2 pitch. Rifled foul out of play. Luke Scott, leadoff man at second base, tying run. Orioles have actually out-hit the Indians 10-7. Now the payoff pitch. And it's ball 4. So Veras walks Mora. 2 on, nobody out. Ty Wigington coming to the plate.
Well, if you are interested in taking a little vacation here in either February or March, you can make it your best spring training baseball vacation ever. You can book a trip to Goodyear, Arizona for spring training. You can check it out on Indians.com/spring travel or call 1-800-892-7687. You can find out some information about Goodyear, Arizona. Beautiful place out in the desert. Brand new facility for the Indians. Great place to spend a week.
Jose Veras deals, and it's ball 1 to Ty Wigington. He has 2 hits on the night. And Veras quickly pitching himself into a jam as left-hander Rafael Perez gets loose in the tried pin. Swing and a miss, threw it by him.
1-1 to Wigginton. 2 balls and a strike. Popped him up. Marte out into foul territory, and he makes the catch. One down here in the 8th inning. Left-handed hitting Michael Aubrey due up here. Aubrey is 2 for 3 on the night. Single, a double, and a run batted in. In the air, center field. Crow back. He will make the catch. That'll enable Luke Scott to tag up and go to third, but now there are 2 down. So first and third for Baltimore, 2 away. And Cesar Izturis will bat here for Baltimore. As Torres had the little tapper back in the 5th inning, enabling him to reach on the infield hit. Six balls, 6 strikes thrown by
They're
Veras.
having a tough time getting on the same page, these two. He's putting down signs. I don't know if he realizes what he's putting down. Nobody's on second now. So there's, I mean, how many pitches do you have?
Down and in, nasty pitch, and Izturis couldn't hold up. 0-1.
Well, he had it made up in his mind. He was swinging before he threw that pitch, looking for the fastball, got the slider, and couldn't hold up. That's what hurts you, when you get guys on base. I mean, that pitch, if you're looking for pitch recognition, you take it. If you're looking for the fastball, now you get it, you're late.
Valbuena throws him out, and Jose Veras gets out of a jam. Orioles' first 2 get aboard, and they leave him stranded. Tribe stays in front 3-2.
A record of 2-6, 5.34 ERA. It'll be Peralta, Laporta, Balbuena for the Indians, trying to add a little insurance here if they can in this 3-2 ball game.
Albers came from the Houston Astros as part of the package for Miguel Tejada back after the 07 season. One ball, one strike on Johnny Peralta, who is 0 for 3 with 2 punch-outs tonight. There's a note here, Rick, in the Orioles media guide on the same page that you find Matt Albers' information that Orioles Hall of Famer Jim Palmer, who's here broadcasting tonight for Orioles television, is the only pitcher to win a World Series game in 3 different decades.
60s, 70s, and 80s. Yeah. 79, 83, 66 maybe. There's Jim Palmer. He was a good one. Still looks good. We missed him. He wasn't televised when we were in Baltimore. Checking out a few numbers. Yeah, he was a good one. High fastball pitcher, curveball, changeup. Hall of Famer, 8-time 20-game winner.
Peralta taps one foul.
One of the only pitchers never, ever in his career, as long as he pitched, gave up a grand slam home run.
1966, he got a win in the World Series against the Dodgers. And he won a bunch in the 70s. They were in it 3 different times, 1970, 71, and 79.
And then in 83.
Yep. Johnny fouls it off again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Albers ready with a 3-2 to Johnny Peralta. And he walked him. So the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here, bottom of the 8th, trying to add to a 1-run lead. And we'll check out the results of the Alltel text poll question. I'm with you, folks. Jim Tracy, what a job he did since taking over for Clint Hurdle in Colorado. He's got the Rockies in position to win the wild card, and there aren't many people who would have thought that was possible on the day he took over.
Well, were they 15 games under 500?
I think they
15 out of first place at the time. I think he took over.
Yeah, I just remember when he took over, Dan O'Dowd was asked about, prospects for the rest of the year, and he said, look, first things first, we just got to try and get back to 500.
Oh, boy, they had played lights out. They've been a fun team to watch.
Matt Laporta singled in the 2nd inning. Since then, he's flied to center and bounced out to first. No balls and a strike. Laporta, after injuring his hip the other night, back in the lineup, but just serving as the DH. Nothing and 2 the count. Really looks like he's tying him up with that good fastball inside. Albers with the 0-2. Matt Albers, born in Houston, Texas, makes his home now in Sugar Land. Made his major league debut with the Astros back in 06. In 07 appeared in 31 games with Houston. And his first season with Baltimore last year. Pitched in 28 games for the Birds. Actually made 3 starts. Although in the big leagues has primarily been a reliever. Ground ball right side, a base hit for Laporta. His second hit of the night. And Peralta stops at second base. You know, his first hit was almost a carbon copy of that one. Just beyond the reach of Brian Roberts.
What happened, you know, he was staying inside, and then he gives him a little swinging room. And you can see Laporta's approach is to stay on the ball and go the other way. He quit burying him inside. He gave him a little swinging room, and Laporta goes again to get his second hit to right field. So a pretty good approach with 2 strikes. I like that. You know, you said he was tying him up in because he was doing that. Then he gave him a little swinging room with 2 strikes. So he made the adjustment, made the change in that swing, gets a base hit.
Well, now here's Luis Valbuena, who has homered and singled tonight. But in this situation, you're looking to add to the lead. He may be bunting here. He squares. Bunts it perfectly. Going to be a tough play for Albers. Throws on the money, though, to get Valbuena. Valbuena does his job as Peralta goes to third, Laporta to second.
There you go, man. That's baseball 101. You get them on and you get them over.
And now it's up to Andy Marte to get him in.
Third time tonight they've been able to execute the sacrifice. I like it. They made the pitcher come off and field it. The runners move up. Now with a great chance to add to a 3-2 lead. Now if you're Baltimore, they're going to come in. You're going to walk Marte. Okay. And now they're going to probably put their middle infielders back and play back for the double play for Marson. But you come out in that leadoff walk in this inning to Peralta. Pretty much set it up. A good at-bat by Laporta. Now they have to load him up to try and get out of the inning.
All right, so Marte trots to first. We'll get a pinch runner now, as Newman Romero will go and run at second base for Matt Laporta. Again, with that hip situation with Laporta, Eric Wedge probably don't want to take any chances right here.
Well, Laporta DH tonight anyway, so you got to, put some speed out there. An extra run on a base hit.
And it's up to Lou Marson now. He is 1 for 3 at an RBI double back in the 5th inning. Base is loaded, 1 out here in the 8th. Inside, ball 1. Albers delivers. Low, 2-0. Stay tuned after our game tonight. The Cleveland Browns report comes your way here on STO. And then at 11 o'clock, it's high school football, the game of the week. Featuring a great one between 3-1 Twinsburg and undefeated Brunswick. Stay tuned right here on STO. Bags juiced here in the bottom of the 8th. Tribe up a run, looking to add to it. 2-0 pitch. And it's called a strike. Johnny Peralta, the runner at third. Newman Romero, the pinch runner at second. And Andy Marte down at first. 2-1 pitch to Lou Marson. No, just missed. 3-1.
Well, boys, zone in right here. Lou Marson, get yourself a fastball. That's what you're going to get. Make sure it's in your zone and let it fly. If it's not, take it.
Albers sets and delivers. And it's ball 4. 4-2 Cleveland. Peralta scores. Marson gets the RBI, his second of the game. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, going to make another visit to the mound, and we've got Al with another Ford Sports Update.
Yeah, guys, how about this? Eddie Bonine for Detroit throwing a no-hitter into the 6th inning in Chicago, but with one aboard. Gordon Beckham, 2-run homer, breaks up the no-hitter, breaks up the shutout. 2-0 White Sox. They're heading to the 7th inning in Chicago. Back to you.
Well, how do you like that?
Bonine was throwing a no-hitter into the 6th.
Wow. That's a heck of a way to...
One swing of the bat.
Here the bases are loaded with a 1 out for Trevor Crow now. Trevor Crow doubled his last time up.
Well, make him get in the zone. He has scuffled. 13 of his 22 pitches have been balls.
Albers ready with the 0-1. And Crow fouls it away. 0-2 the count. The Indians trying to blow it open here. They lead 4-2. Two-strike pitch in the dirt, and a nice stop by Wieters. That saved a run.
Boy, he was looking down and in, and that pitch going down and away. You talk about hanging loose.
Bases filled with Indians here, bottom of the 8th. And a 1-2 to Crow. Broken bat bouncer to short. To second for 1. Roberts relay in time, and inning-ending double play. We will go to the 9th. Kerry Wood coming on to try and close out a 4-2 Indians lead. Let's get a look at our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game. And Fausto Carmona did a terrific job tonight. 2 earned runs allowed in 6 innings of work, but look at the strikes.
Yeah, exactly. 65 strikes out of 92 pitches. That's outstanding for Fausto Carmona. Had good stuff tonight. And, you know, hopefully this bullpen can hold on. He could use a win.
Kerry Wood will try to convert his 20th save of the year. He'll have to go through the top of the order for Baltimore. It'll be Brian Roberts, Jeff Fiorentino, who came on for Felix P.A., and Matt Wieters to start things off.
You go back and look, in the last save for Kerry Wood, September 6th.
So you're saying it's been a while.
Well, and it's his last opportunity. I mean, it's been few and far between. It's been that kind of month for the Indians. Trying to end this 11-game losing streak.
Outside ball 1. And during that 11-game losing streak, I think the only game that the Indians could really hang the loss on the bullpen was that first game in Minnesota.
Yeah.
In the air, center field, Trevor Crowe gives way to the left fielder Brantley, 1 down. Jeff Fiorentino came on after Felix P.A. looked like he blew out his quad muscle going down the first baseline back in the 7th inning. So Fiorentino getting his first at bat of the night, and Wood delivers low for ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Close pitch, but called a ball. 3-0. Right down the heart of the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Stay tuned for the Conrad's postgame show. It comes your way after we wrap things up tonight here at Progressive Field. Full count. Crowd making a little noise here with 1 out in the 9th. A 3-ball, 2-strike count on Fiorentino, and he struck him out. Wood blows it by him, 2 down.
Comes back from a 3-0. Down in the count to get him with that breaking ball. Swings over the top. Might have helped him out a little bit. But he gets out number 2, and the Indians 1 out away from ending this streak.
All that stands between the Tribe and that is Matt Wieters. 0 for 3 with a walk. And a breaking ball missed inside. Wieters struck out his first 3 times up against Fausto Carmona, but then drew a walk facing Tony Sipp in the 7th. Outside corner, 1-1. Nice crowd here on this Friday night. Hoping to see the Indians snap the skid. An 11-game losing streak for the Indians. The Orioles came in having lost 7 in a row. Shatters the bat, pops it up. And from third base, Peralta pockets it, and the 11-game losing streak is over. The Indians win it. 4-2, the final score here tonight. Fausto Carmona gets his 4th win of